Thanks. It's great to be here.
We were hoping we could start off by having you read a little bit of the prologue.
Yes.
So I'd love to do that. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. It's the first time I've actually read from this book since it was published
Which
a
was
week
not
ago.
just a few days ago, yeah.
But this is a prologue that is in real time. It opens the book, and then, as we'll discuss, the book steps back in time. But I'll begin the book as the reader does. Ivan Volkov studied the message on his computer screen in the powdery last light of the Moscow afternoon. It was an invitation to commit suicide, wrapped in vanilla icing. It's a quote. People from nearly every country share information with the Central Intelligence Agency, and new individuals contact us daily. If you have information that might help our foreign intelligence collection mission, there are many ways to reach us. End quote. Volkov had read those words a half dozen times over the past week on as many different computers. His head was on fire. He was tall, handsome once, an angular, weathered face from the steppes. He loved his country, but even more, he despised what it had become. Now, in the library of the Lebedev Physical Institute, on a virtual private network that Vladimir Vladimirovich himself could not break, he prepared to compose his text. He read the instructions once more. Quote, if you feel it is safe, think about including these details in your message, your full name, biographic details, how to contact you. These Americans were spoiled, really. They didn't know pain. They were atom fallen. But they still ruled the ordered world, even more now. After Russia invaded Ukraine, it was humiliated, hobbled, scorned by the decent world. But it still had its secrets, and it sought to eliminate anyone who might imagine sharing them. The Czechists had created an organization to kill betrayers that endured, now under a different name. It was the thing that Russia was still truly good at. Volkov typed, I am anonymous. I live on a street with no entrance or exit. Here is my information. You are blind to the danger from above. Satellites are your enemies, especially your own. You have 16 ground monitors and 11 antennas to run your global navigation system. Do you trust it? That is only the beginning. Hidden codes can seem to make time stop and turn north into south. They will freeze your world and everything in it. Warning messages may be tricks. Beware. Volkov paused. No one should sign his own death warrant. But then he thought, this is not a choice after what they did to Bucha and Mariupol and to my own son. These are monsters who've allied with monsters. Truly, they will turn the world upside down if they're not stopped. He read the instructions one last time. Quote, the CIA cannot guarantee a response to every message. We reply first to messages of most interest to us and to those with more detail. If we respond to your message, we will do so using a secure method. We go to great lengths to keep these channels secure, but any communication sent using the internet involves some risk. You can reduce the risk by using the Tor browser, a virtual private network, and or a device not registered to you. End quote. Volkov shook his head. He took off his reading glasses. On his lips was the trace of a rueful smile. These Americans thought they'd repealed the laws of gravity. They were the winners. They were so strong that they'd become weak. They didn't see what was in front of their eyes. Volkov turned back to the keyboard and typed. A war has already begun in space. You think you understand, but you do not. The worst has already happened. Only a few people know what I know. If you're smart, you will find me. Then he pushed the button marked send. Volkov closed his eyes. He was falling, but he was motionless. His body was heavy as lead and light as air. It was not enough what he'd done, but it was a beginning.